Coming up on the next episode.
Hi, good morning, y'all. YouTube here at the at my lazy ass chair, as it's been known to be called. Looking at the screen here in front of me, as you can see, this is a schematic for the RCA 66X1. Where I'm at on this, I'm kind of in a hold pattern, I guess. One thing, I'm waiting on the tube to get here, the 12SG7, which is the RF tube up here. But in the meantime, what Bob and Bob has been instrumental, you all know Bob, has been instrumental in helping me with this, because we got some things going on with this radio that, it just seems to never end as far as the problems with it. Doing a little recap, the first thing that was found was this C9 up here, this 330 picofarad, I think was a silver mica cap. Not really sure about that. It was a domino type cap, but it was bad and causing noise in the audio, which we cured by replacing it. And that part of the circuit is fine now, but as you may recall, I could not get a 455 signal in at the antenna using the BDSI probe that I have, and it would not go through. Now, there's a couple of reasons, I think, for this. This little network of filtering, or whatever you want to call it, is actually a wave trap type filter, and it's supposed to just designed to keep that signal out. Now, the thing of it is, I could inject that signal at pin 4 of the. I'm sorry if you hear the noise in the background, but we're having a thunderstorm go through. But anyway, I could inject that signal from the probe at pin 4 of the grid of this 12SG7, and nothing came out of the plate. In other words, I monitored the plate with the signal tracer, and nothing came out. I think a hum came out, but that was about it. But then I moved the signal from that probe to pin 8 here of the, which is the plate of that tube, and the signal made it all the way through out the speaker. I could hear the signal come out the speaker. So that seemed to indicate to me that the signal was making it through this wave trap just fine. And Bob seemed to think maybe it was just the powerful signal of the probe that was overpowering it and causing that, but I don't know for sure. So what we continued on our troubleshooting, and what we found was we started. Bob wanted to use a 1 megahertz modulated tone signal instead of the 455, so I set up my generator, the HP, to do that, and lo and behold, I could couple it loosely with the antenna by just basically holding the output cable near it, and I would get the 1 megahertz signal out of the by tuning the radio, obviously, out of the speaker. So that worked out really, really well, and so I was surprised actually that it happened with what I thought was a bad 12SG7, but what we found was that the signal level, I think, was at -7 dB, I believe is what it was. If I went down anymore, you couldn't hear the signal. Of course, if you went up, it was louder then. But if you went up, but anyway, so the problem still was that at 115 volts input to the set, the radio was pretty quiet except for the slight audio hum coming out the speaker. So if you turn the voltage down on the variac to around 75 volts, then you could hear all kinds of radio noises coming out of the speaker. and tuning it would, change the statics. It never would bring in the local station, but I got to experimenting on my own with that, and I turned up the signal frequency to 1300, and it would come out the speaker. But at I believe 1370, there was nothing coming out the speaker. Anything above 1370 would not come out the speaker. So obviously the radio was not being able to be tuned that high, and so Bob had me adjust the capacitor, or not the capacitor, but the trimmers down here. I think C25, C26, I think, or I don't know. I don't remember offhand which one it was, but it was the one, the oscillator and the RF on the little screws on the tuning capacitor. And I was able to get all the way up to 1600 coming out the speaker then. So we got that set to where at least the signal was coming through, but I was still unable to receive the local station. It just wasn't strong enough to come through. So that's basically where we're at. Now, I did measure. One of the things we're trying to figure out is why the radio is so quiet at the normal voltage. Well, if you look at it right here on pin 4, this voltage on this pin 4 is minus 12. That would effectively shut that tube off, and that is the problem we're trying to figure out. And I have checked the 3.3 meg ohm resistor here at R5, and that is it measured 3.4 meg, which is close enough. I measured, in addition to measuring the voltage here, I measured the voltage on the high side of the voltage, or the volume control was only minus 0.5. So what we feel like is if there might be a problem. So I disconnected this. While this was disconnected, I did the same measurements. It's, I think, minus 11 now, something on the on this one here, on the pin 4 of the 12SK7. So obviously there's a reason for that. There shouldn't be that much negative voltage, I wouldn't think, on that tube. Bob seems to think it's a gassy tube. Now, I do have another one. In fact, I have two other 12SK7s, but I believe I have tried them all, and I think they all result in the same thing. So I'm kind of the opinion that there is another problem besides the tube, but until such time that I have a good one to try, really, or get my tube tester fixed. And it doesn't do well with gassy tubes anyway. I don't think it detects gassy tubes. But anyway, that's the thing. So what I'm saying is, on this video, is I'm basically taking a break, and I'm asking for suggestions on why there is minus 12 volts here on this tube. That's a big part of our radio being silent, at the proper voltage. Again, if you turn it down to 75 volt input, it will make noise, but there's not sufficient, I don't believe there's sufficient amplification then to make the signals go through right. So, like I said, this radio has been a thorn in my side, I guess is what I'm saying. But so anywho, that's what we're looking at, and I just thought I would pass this along to anybody that might have an idea on why there would be minus 12 volts here at this tube, besides it being a gassy tube. And I tend to agree that that's probably the problem, but without a tube tester, and I'm gonna take a break from the radio and work on my tube tester and get that fixed, where I can at least test these octal tubes and get an idea of the emission and things like that. That little Knight 600 tube tester is not the best for testing, it only tests the emissions, obviously, but so like I said, that's where I'm at with this, and I just thought I probably won't make a video on it this coming Wednesday, or is it Wednesday? Or what, I think Wednesday, but whatever day it is, I probably won't make a video on it, because unless when this 12SG7 comes in, if that makes a difference, I might make a video, but if it doesn't, I probably won't. So if you don't see anything out of me on Wednesday, then you'll know I haven't progressed any further than that. So Anyway, that's about it from here in Seymour, with the rain pouring down now outside. And I'm going to take a break from, like I said, the radio and work on the tube tester and see if I can't get that to work and find out where the bad connection is on it. And I will probably clean those sockets at the octal socket for that tube tester. I don't think that's the problem, because you can stick the tube in and you can watch the meter deflect. When you stick the tube in, the filament draws current, and then it moves that needle a little bit. So I believe it's making contact there. So anyway, that's it from here. So you guys, if you have a suggestion, please let it be known in the comments. I would appreciate it. And like I said, you guys have a great day.